Hello and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to this fun and special YouTube hop today. A lot of us from the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, a lot of my scrappy friends are again collaborating with page maps for the month of October. Page map sketches are just awesome. I love Becky's sketches, and this I think is the third time that we are participating, and there are quite a few of us today that have videos for this collaboration, and there are a couple that are sharing over on Instagram. I know Amber Dragonfly is over on Instagram, and there may be Susan Ellie is over on Instagram as well, and then quite a few of us here on YouTube. Now, the way this works is we each receive one sketch. We don't know what the other sketches are like. We get one sketch, and that is the sketch that we have to work with. And I got a 12 by 12 this time. I think the first two, I had actually received 8.5 by 11. So this time I got a 12 by 12, a lovely 12 by 12 sketch. Now that I'm looking at it, I guess maybe, I don't know whether this was supposed to be Halloween themed. I don't think anything was mentioned. The sketch certainly looks as though it is. I'm afraid my layout is not. So I hope I didn't do something wrong there. So this is the lovely sketch that I received from Becky, which obviously has a nice piece of cardstock here and a very wide frame, a lot wider than we normally do. It's a 3-photo layout, 2 very small and 1 sort of medium size. So this is a fun sketch. Now, I could have done this in all sorts of different ways, but in the end, I stayed pretty true to the sketch. And I'm really not sure about this layout. Anyway, it's done. It's here. It's going to go into baby Diego's album, Gwen's album, that I'm making for her for the baby's first year. And it does follow this lovely sketch with just a few little variations. But when I was done with it, it was like, not sure. And as I go through, I'll tell you where perhaps I am not sure. So the first thing that I did, of course, is choose my photos. And I already had these 3 photos printed out as a collage. So I took these 2 that would represent the sort of 2 by 2s here. And then I reprinted this portion of it, and it's actually bigger than the 3 by 3. I think it's probably about 3.5 by 3.75 or something like that. Now, the premise of the sketch is to have this large frame, which I did really love. Smaller one with the 2 rounded corners, stay to that. And again, when I use just white or very vanilla as my background, I always find that everything seems to fall off the page. So different from the sketch, I distressed my sides here, and I used a navy type ink on there to get that done. Then what I thought was fun was this pattern here, and I'm not sure if this on the sketch is actually meant to be a stencil, if it's pattern paper, but I decided to do a stencil and to maybe get something as close as I would have to this lovely pattern. I have a stamp, now that I see this, I think I have a stamp set that I could have done this. That would have been fun. I think I might actually redo this sketch doing that, and I'll come back in a week or so while the whole October page maps is still going on and show you. So I went into my stencils. I got this Simon Hurley stencil out and this baby boy blue pasties, because what I am using here is my lovely baby album kit that is based on, so I use 3 different papers. This is the main paper that I used, which is from Bo Bunny. And it's Little Wonders. And this one is Little Wonders Alexander. Then I used this from the Pink Paisley Little Adventure for just a little bit of a strip here and for the tag here. And then I used this fun paper, Pebbles Lullaby. I love both sides, but I actually used this side with the little stork to bring in, really I wanted to bring in a little bit of this sort of orangey, peachy, corally color. So the first thing that I did is I did the background with my stenciling. And I guess the first thing that I'm questioning maybe a little bit is this color. I think I might have liked it a little bit deeper, a little closer to the navy, but when I was doing it, I felt that that might make everything a little too dark. So tell me down below, what do you think? So I got this all done, and then I went in to get the coral to map my photos. So here the photos don't seem to be, this one is matted, but not double matted. This one does not seem to be matted at all. So I matted them both in the coral and then double matted this one using the Pebbles Lullaby paper. And then I wanted to bring in this sort of scallop. And originally I just cut a square out of this and did just like a basic scallop with one of my scallop punches. But I found the scallops were too small. So I went in and I found some dies, some square dies that I have. And I used that to cut out some squares. Then I just cut my little bits here as I cut my little bits here so that I still actually have a little bit of this left. And this I had moved over a little further out as it is in the sketch. And I felt it stuck out a little bit too much because this is actually two pieces that I jimmy rigged, as Kelsey would say, or MacGyvered together to make sort of an extra mat. And then I put this strip along it. So this is where I brought in a little bit of the extra color because I felt that all of this was a little too monochromatic. I wanted some of this sort of corally, this is closer to maybe a tomatoey red, but I sort of preferred the closer to coral peachy color. So I got just this strip out. And on here it goes all the way to the edge. For some reason, I don't do that. Even recently, I did another layout where I was following with sketch and it went out to the ends. And for some reason, that always makes me feel that it looks weird and unbalanced. So I never make it go completely to the edge. So I just popped that on there. And then, of course, I made this lovely little pocket. If you're interested in seeing how I do this, this is very, very, very simple. Just sort of like a 2.5 inch piece. I did some scoring, glued, and it makes this fun little pocket here for the tag. Oh, there we go. Let me just get this back up here. Now, once I put this pocket in with the tag that was here, I felt there was a little bit of an awkward gap here because I think maybe I was a little bit more into the layout than here on the sketch. So I just made another little tag with the Lullaby paper, inked the edges in the navy. I inked everything here in the navy, popped that in, and I found it finished off a lot better. So I've added that. On this side, I went up a little bit higher because, again, I felt the corner needed to be filled in a little bit more. And then rather than do embellishing here, I moved over and I put one of these lovely flares from Scrap and Happy Studio, little guy, which is sort of in, it's maybe a little bit more golden than the corally, but I think it matches well. So I put that there. So then I had my little basic stuff. Then of course, there were some splatters a little bit all over, so I went in and I got, I think it's Mama Sings the Blues, or is it Deep Sea Blue? I think it's Mama Sings the Blues, and I just did some splattering, as is on the sketch, which I found again helped to reduce the starkness of the white. But then I found that this blue was sort of sticking out a little bit like a sore thumb. It needed to be a little bit more finished. It needed more elements on it. So the first thing that I did, and I practiced under here, was just get some Wink of Stella and colored in a couple of these centers. Didn't really feel that that stood out enough. So I went in, got some enamel dots, Your Next Stamp, in the lovely glittery blue, and put those around here and there, sort of two in, I've got 5 here and a little bit coming down through here, and I already liked that a lot better. Then I went to get the thickers, the gorgeous thicker set that came with my baby album kit, and got some of the stars so that I could fill in some of these little holes. And Chopin seems to be saying hello as he's on his way to his bowl to eat a bit. So then I brought in a little bit of the silver, which I felt matched the glitter that was in here, broke up the blues, and I didn't want gold, just only white was too much, so I just got the hello here so that I would have it pretty much at the same place as the title is down here. Added some of those silver stars in lots of the little nooks and crannies, and then I felt a lot happier with the layout. So I just put hello, and this documents a day that Gwen was sort of having like a family day with her father and his side of the family. So I just added here, so I put hello, and then abuelo, because her side of the family, Gwen's mother's side of the family, is Portuguese, and her father's side of the family is from Guatemala. So abuelo, tia, and Ada, that is just her father's wife's name. So I just put that there, and hello. So in the end, I am happier with it than I was when before I added all these little bits. I do have some splatters in the stenciling. I love the idea of the stenciling as opposed to the pattern paper. I think I might have liked it if it was a little bit of a darker blue. Let me know what you think. But I think I'm fairly true to the sketch with just a few little bits to adapt it a little bit to my style. I love this collaboration. As I said, I hope we do it yet again. All of the links to my scrappy friends will be down below, as well as links to the Instagram accounts to those that are playing along on Instagram today. There will be a link also, of course, to the Page Maps website, just in case you have not downloaded this month's series of sketches yet to play along. If you play along throughout the month of October with any of the Page Map sketches, this one, of course, as well, tag me, put a link to your video, pop on over to the Mercy Tiara Facebook group. If you're a member of the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, share with us over there. And I will see you all again soon, and happy October. See you soon. Thanks for being here. Bye.